first I'm going to test this Crayola washable marker. This side before the bump is been made rough with some sand, with a cheap nail file. I roughed up this side, and this side's still smooth, so this way I know if I need to rough up an entire thing, because I want to use it so that I don't have to use all of my pencil crayons and stuff, because they do like make marks on the opposite side of the page. But with markers, if I use them on this booklet here, it's going to bleed through the next page. So hopefully this idea works. So I'm going to start with like the cheapest marker possible. I also have the fatter version of this, but this is more of a thin tip type of marker thing. Alright. I do not have my phone tripod on me, like my good quality one. I have a couple other ones that aren't the greatest of quality, so I'm just going to, I have my phone in between the box that I'm keeping all my supplies in and my body, so it's in between those two spaces. If it falls, my bad. But here we go. And let's go over here. Does it smudge? Smudge. Okay, it does smudge a little bit. Alright. Now let's do another one and let it sit. And when I'm done the rest of the testers, I'll see if it smudges as well. So now I have this Bic Ultra Fine, what does it say? A deep sea blue I'm going to use. So, we'll try it out. I'm at my mom's place, and we don't have, any kind of, real AC here, so I have the windows open. It's also nice and cool out, so if you hear animals or wind, that's from that. So. Oh, that's not bleeding. Oh, it's not, it's barely, well, it is a little bit. It's not too bad. And it's not bleeding onto the opposite side here. So, that's actually pretty good. Alright, next, we're going to do the Studio Permanent Marker Fine Point. And we'll try that out. Hopefully I got this on camera. Whoopsie. My phone fell there. Now, let's try this here. And that there. Do you bleed? No! Oops, sorry. It's not on camera. See, does it bleed? Does it bleed? Well, now that this is dry, let's see if it bleeds. The Crayola one. Kind of. Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying to flip you the bird, but I'm holding the marker with the other fingers. So I'm using my middle finger to do this. So, yeah, as long as it dries, and I rough it up, the Crayola one works. And basically, this is just like a decal, or like not a decal. It's basically like white, vinyl. Like cheap white vinyl is what I've been using here. And hope that will make it so that I don't have to continue to glue pages into here. Plus, I had gotten 3 rolls of the tape, of the vinyl that this came from, by accident, because I thought it was lamination tape, and this is clearly not. So, now, we're going to use a thicker Crayola, and try that. Alright. Phone stay in place there. Now, this is the rougher side, and the smoother side. We'll give it a few minutes, and then rub the thing to see if it bleeds, and everything. And next, I'm not going to bother with the pencil crayons, because I can use those at any point. Let's go with paint markers. Alright. Next we'll do paint markers and then alcohol markers. I mean, this could be good like every other page, like on one side of the page. I could just put like a sheet of this stuff on, so long as I can test it first. So let's go with the green paint marker from, what's that? Where is it? This is the set I'm using markers from. These are the acrylic paint markers that I got from the dollar store for, what does it say? $2. And there's 4 of them. I just only need 1 to try out. Here. You know what? I'm going to put the lid back on this container here. Okay. I think it's better if I do rough up the vinyl before I start doing anything on it. But I used a cheap nail file to do so, just as a tester, because, you know, not everyone has sandpaper in their house. So, all right. So we've got this paint marker here, and I'm going to put it on the rougher side. Try to get this so that you guys can see what I'm doing. This is hard. I don't want to get my tripod out. It's upstairs, so oh, that doesn't feel nice. That doesn't sound nice. Sorry, not feel nice. It just doesn't sound nice. Yeah, this is gonna rub off. Alright. But, you know what? We're just gonna leave it be. Now that this is kind of dry, we'll see. Does the blue rub? No. Does the blue over here rub? No. Well, a little bit. But that's because I'm actually using a lot of pressure there. So the Crayola marker is not the best. Let's see. Paint marker. Yeah. So paint marker. Yeah. So the paint marker is not going to work on that. Or at least these are artistic ones. Actually, let's try that again and just leave it dry for a little bit and see if I get the same result. All right. Yes, I'm watching an art YouTube video. But I want to do this first, and then I'm going to go out later and pick up a few things. So let's let that dry. Now I have these also paint markers. These ones. So now try and make this here. Put that there. Alright, let's see what marker. Now, the reason why there's tape on the end of it is because when I started, those were the ones that were already activated. And I just never bothered to put the, I forgot to put tape on the other ones. But they've all been activated now. But that was like a reminder type thing. And we'll do 2, just in case one bleeds, which it probably will. This is on the rougher end. Alright, let's see. Bleed? Yeah. Does that bleed? Actually, it's not bleeding that much. So as long as you keep it dry, as long as you wait for it to dry before you know, put your hand there, you should be fine with the Craft Smart paint pens. So, interesting. Next is my alcohol-based markers, or as they're advertised, blendable markers, that I got from the dollar store. So we'll see what happens with that one. Now let's take these pencil crayons out, because this is so I don't have to continuously use pencil crayons. Whoopsie. Okay. Oh, crap. Alright, one sec. Markers are falling out of this I want to keep them separate because these are the paint ones. And my TV timed out on me. Alright. Okay. I got to grab the alcohol ones. I have 2 packs and they're both the same brand, so I don't need both of them to test. I just need one. Alright. Oh, I'm gonna put this a different way. Alright, stay there. Alright, I will put that other container of pencil crowns that fell into here in a minute. Alright, so I've got my gradient markers, which I think are alcohol-based markers. So I have these, which is next to test out. All right, let me try and get this set up so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, and I can have both hands free to do what I want to do here. Sorry, trying to figure out a way to film this. All right. All right. Let's see. Can I flip my screen? And you see this way? Is that possible? Not really. And all right, let's try this. We're gonna go with the darkest marker, purple. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, my coffee's done. All right. Yeah, it says alcohol based on the marker. So, see that? All right, blending markers from the dollar store. I got them for $3.50. So, let's see here. I'm sorry for the bad camera angles. They don't show up that well on here. Yeah, so that would be a no. If this is the darkest color I have, which it is, aside from the blue package, it doesn't really show up even that well to start off with. So, yeah. So, alcohol markers are not going to be good on that page where I have the vinyl sheet on. Well, it's vinyl sheet. It's advertised as like kitchen drawer lining. So, but there are the markers I had and the test. This is the rougher end and this is the smoother end of markers. So I think I'm just going to rough up the page a little bit with some, with a nail file and stuff. I think that's the better option and everything. I think that came out as the better option. So I have this spare page here, and this is what I measured and stuff for the page type thing. And this is how that page turned out, the last one. And this, I put like a Mod Podge over top of it. And then this I put on a spray Mod Podge, which I think might have been a bad idea. Though, doing it side by side, I noticed that the Crayola markers seem to have more pigment and are less spotty than like the Craft Smart markers, which I'd seen videos of people comparing them, but it was different when I saw them in person. Then, for create a fancy name, I decided to put my name, then my last name, then my initials. If you look really closely, aside from the R, there are tiny versions of the letters inside the letters. So, like, this little thing, like, kind of like squiggly lines are supposed to kind of be like M's. Then we have the G's inside the G. Then we have A's inside the A, and in the middle of that A, there's the lowercase a. These are the uppercase ones. Then we got N's and everything, so yeah. Then we have the J's here, and the O's, because I wanted to do it differently. The O's over here are as well there. Then, because I have two L's, I wanted to make the inside L's different, so this one I did that way, and this one I had some upside down L's as well, so it looked a little different. Then I have my Y, and the Y's inside of the Y. Then I have my M, and another M, another one where there's M's in there. Then we have O, and another one where there's O's in the middle, which I was using markers that are supposed to be bleed proof. Let's see. Somewhat worked, but if I like push too hard, then they did pop up through. So anyway, then we have the R and the little R's inside of the R, not to be mistaken by the lowercase r, but the R in the middle there. Then I have E, and I have E's inside as well. Then we have more M's here. So M, J, which are my initials, and I tried to do the J's differently here. So I have J's going upside down and kind of interlocking with J's that are going the right side, right way kind of thing. Then I wanted to fill up the space, so I added hearts, and in each heart I put a letter of my name. So I have the M, O, R, G, A, N, and because I had extra space but not enough for my last name, I went with the M, M, J. So that's what I did. And then I chose a darker color for the background, which I don't normally do because I don't usually like the darker shades and colors and stuff, because I like to be happy, and bright colors, in my opinion, represent happiness. So anyway, and then I have these pages to do, and this is that page with the vinyl sheet on it and everything, and it had nothing on this page except for the date that I had written back on the top and the bottom. So this was just a blank page beside it. So that's why I decided to put it on here so that I could test it. And that way, when I get to a page that has like a prompt on it, I know what I'm doing and if it can actually work and everything. So if this works, I'll be really happy, and I'll be glad that I, finally have a use for the thing I got on accident because I thought it was something else. Sometimes you get those kinds of things and I'm like, I'll figure out what I can do with this, but it's not what I wanted. Sorry. But yeah, so that is an update on this book and me testing the markers on the vinyl sheet kind of thing to test out if it works in a book like this. So in this book kind of thing. So if this works, I'm very proud of myself. So I might do it every other page, so that the marker doesn't bleed through and everything. So who knows? We'll try it out. We'll see what happens there and see if the marker bleeds through with the vinyl sheet on top as well. So we'll try the marker here and try marker here and see what happens. Yeah. So that is how I think it's going to go. Hopefully if I rough this up, it won't bleed as much onto the next page, but we'll try. But I still have to rough that up, and you don't really want to see that. So yeah. Plus I don't have a nail file here I can use for that. But anyway, I want to use one that's not been used before, just to be, clean kind of thing. Anyway, so that is an update on my Create This book so far. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and follow depending on what site you're watching this on. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. the little update I have and the little tester that I did. Anyway, I don't know how to end this, so have a good day. Yeah.